Yo, this Rage Almighty, and when my poems aren't getting your baby mama pregnant, I'm reading Cosign Magazine. Work. If I had a son, I hope he looks just like his mother. I hope his skin never catches up with his spirit, and if he hangs his head to the south, I pray that his posture ain't that of a Confederate flag at half-mast. I hope he never has to limbo under white privilege and fitting the description, or sport a cross-stitch smile with a patchwork grin, become a Raggedy Andy man-child struggling to keep himself together. If I ever have a son, I just don't want him to have to wear his black so hard. Wear his black like it'll run away if he don't wear it right. Wear his black like his black will betray him. I hope my son's black never betrays him, and if we plant southern roots, I don't want him to grow like strange fruit that never seems to fail too far from the tree. Cause y'all, if you ever seen southern trees, you'll see Jim Crow perched on an olive branch in a three-piece suit, but now he calls himself gentrification, AKA contradiction, AKA nested and never left this southern soil where bushes don't get burned, they get elected. Old rugged crosses are barbecued in front lawns, and if these trees could speak, they'd whistle and scream like 4 little girls in a burning church. So I hope my son ain't forced to swing through his manhood like a Molotov cocktail, cause I swear, you ain't seen fire till you seen a black boy crash into adulthood. If I ever have a son, I just want him to look just like his mother. I just want him to see the beauty before the beast, before he finds his God in gunpowder, wears his bruises like prayer beads, raises his hands in mercy, just to lay on the ground like a cotton field. Emmett Till, he gets picked out his car for driving too slow, picked out his car for being in the wrong neighborhood, picked up in a Jasper, Texas dirt road by 3 strangers, hitched up to the back of a pickup truck, and drugged so bad that the police later find his limbs in 81 different places. I don't want my son to wait for the levees to break before he learns how to swim. If I have a son, I hope he hates Skittles, iced teas, hoodies, baggy jeans, rap music, tattoos, good schools, public transit, and everything else that makes him look like a criminal. Everything else that makes him look like a bounty. Everything else to make him look less like his mother who has it. I know she doesn't have it easy, but this body has brought me so much unwanted attention. My son will be innocent before he's looked at as guilty, before he has stared down the barrel of a textbook like a government-issued assault rifle. Quote, in peace, sons bury their fathers. In war, fathers bury their sons. If I ever have a son, he will smell the roses before he lays them at my grave. If I have a son, he'll be just like his mother. Some of the things I am and everything that I'm not.
Go ahead, explain the poem. I mean, some of it, of course, is very self-explanatory, but, you know, your thoughts on it.
It's has so many layers to me, because I don't have a kid, you know, I have condoms. And, like, you know, I oftentimes, you know, when I think about if I'm ever going to have kids, I have this fantasy, you know, it's like this romanticized idea about being family, about Huxtable life, you know, but reality is sometimes it doesn't work out like that. But in my mind, that's how it's going to work out if it does happen. And when I thought about this whole series of thoughts came to me, I thought about the Oscar Grant case. Oscar Grant, if y'all saw Fruitville Station, you know, he got shot while handcuffed, you know, and all the things that go on, especially now, you know, the Ferguson and everything that's going on over there. It's a scary world for a black boy, and you know, it's a scary world for anybody of color, but especially a black boy who is born with a target on their back. And the poem is also about, to me, it's also about the woman who I have a child with. You know, like I said, the romanticized idea about, you know, finding the perfect woman who's gonna be perfect, who's gonna be everything I'm not, who's gonna be beautiful, who's gonna be pure. And when it's somebody who's told that is not pure, he's not beautiful, he's, you know, he could die, you know, for no reason, and the killer could get away, you know. And yeah, I just want him to be like her, like that idea that I have of the woman of my dreams. So yeah, it's a lot of layers to me. Yeah, it's really personal. I'm involved in the community, and I do a lot of community events. And when I teach classes and talk to the kids and see how they feel, and they tell me, you know, that they're scared. You know, that's not a life to live. So I'm less afraid of the child I may or may not have. You know.
Or that you know about.
Shut up. But yeah, it's a scary place. It's a scary place for black people as a whole, but especially a black boy who, you know, yeah, you have to grow up to be hard. You know, we have to grow up with tough skin. Like you can't. You know, you know, our culture promotes that. You know, you can't be no punk, and you really can't. You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to be innocent. So I want a son that has a chance to be innocent and has a chance to be beautiful and has a chance to live before he's told he should be dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how was that poem received at the Verses and Flow?
They loved it, yo, and I got people standing up, and I got a standing ovation, not a full stand, a quarter of a standing ovation. Right. People were standing, but yeah, it was. And Laz Alonso, the host, star of Jump in the Broom and Avatar, he told everybody to hashtag If I Had a Son on Twitter, and tell me their thoughts, or talk about their thoughts on Twitter. And I looked at my Twitter this morning, and it's
crazy.
Yeah, and looking like people's, you know, another thing to where these are thoughts that I have, and I'm not alone in these thoughts. You know, people's responses to it are like wild. Like people have the same fear. A lot of mothers, a lot of women are commenting and saying their fears for their child, and they understand. So one of those things that you write about, and you think nobody will relate, or you're not sure if anybody will relate to this, but you just write it for you and spit it, and somebody's gonna reach back out.
Seems like you're your own tough act to follow with that. I mean, what comes after this?
I mean, there's always room to grow. This car never stops. I don't know. You know, I don't know. Touring is my dream. I want to see the world.
Off your art.
Yeah. You know, living off your art. There's no better feeling than living off what comes from you. Living off your art, your soul, and, you know, cliche, your heart and soul. But it's really no better feeling to me. So I want to travel, and I want to wear my stunner shades and style on people.
Poets do that?
I'm gonna do it.
You're gonna do it. So what do you have in the works? What do we expect from you?
I got like a top secret album that I can't talk about.
What's it called?
It's gonna be called Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
Mhm.
Is that the truth, or you're just?
No, that's the truth. It's an album that, you know, if a lot of people, especially in the poetry community, it's gonna be a surprise. I'm not doing it by myself. It's me and somebody else doing this album. That's gonna be real secret until either late this year or early next year.
And you have a video in the works.
Yeah, and I'm working on my video called Leaving Las Vegas. It's known, but people call it the drunk poem. And it's talking about alcoholism. Because I like alcohol.
Good
a
stuff.
lot. And that was like another one of the realest poems I wrote, you know. So, and
I actually have a cameo in the video.
you have a cameo in the
Yes.
video. Yeah, you in there.
Yeah.
Because you had to come get me a couple times when I was drunk. For real,
Yes,
for
a
real.
couple times. Yeah, full disclosure, me and Rage Almighty are good friends.
Yeah.
So where can people find you?
You can find me everywhere. I'm very Googleable. Google Rage Almighty. You'll find everything. www.ragealmighty.com. Of course, my Twitter, Rage Almighty, and Facebook, Rage Almighty, and Pinterest. Is that how you pronounce that?
Yes.
Well, I want to put an E in there. Pinterest. You know, Pinterest and Tumblr and all that. It's all Rage Almighty. So I'm easy to find.